Don't stop, shout. Motivation. Don't shout. Illumination. Don't stop, shout. Liberation. Don't stop. Acceleration. Kickstart.
Ooh. Hi. So let me apologize ahead of time for my attire, lack of makeup, and all those things. But I wanted to come on here to clarify something. Now, it has been brought to my attention that something was stated in one of my previous videos. Now, any other time, if I am satisfied with the content, I leave it alone. However, when I watched it back, there was a certain part that kind of was a little off for me. And had I edited it out, it would not have flowed. Therefore, I'm just going to add to it. And I'm going to put the link above here somewhere so you can go back and see what I'm referring to. But I'm talking about the video that's called, Do You Want to Be Healed or Not? I don't ever want you guys to feel like you have to settle. And I want to make myself clear. This is about the video that's called, Do You Want to Be Healed or Not? I gave 2 illustrations. One was about someone being hungry and you offering a turkey and cheese sandwich and them not wanting it. And then the second example I gave was someone being very hot and you offering them a bottle of water. However, when they notice the brand of water, they refuse it. And I went on to say, if you're hot, why not just take the water and drink? If you're hungry, why not just take the turkey and cheese sandwich and eat? If you're hungry or if you are thirsty, why not eat and drink what's available? But this is the thing. That statement could come off, or you can presume that I'm saying take what you can get. Oh, no. I'm not saying that now, because if you have my book, Crazy Enough to Jump, I wish I had a copy in here. If you have the book Crazy Enough to Jump, there is a chapter dedicated to taking what you can get. Believe me, I know what that life is like. It is not desirable. And when you settle for the crumbs left from the chiefs, that's what type of life you end up with. Taking what you can get, getting whatever people are willing to pass you down. And it's a great chance that it's going to be leftovers, things that people don't want, trash. You're like an option. You're not top priority. So no. That statement was not about you settling. So please disregard that. If you assume that, if you presume that, I was in the flow and I didn't quite explain it thoroughly as I needed to. But if you will allow me, let me explain it now. When it comes to our healing, we can't push away the process of healing that we need. For an example, 5 years ago, maybe you were healed just simply from prayer. Someone prayed over you, or perhaps you prayed to God and you were healed. But fast forward now, currently, now you need to be healed of a deep wound that you've been carrying. You've prayed about it for years. And every time you think about this memory, every time you see that individual that's associated with that wound, you feel some type of way. So in that case, maybe your healing may come through counseling. So this is what I meant by someone offering you something to eat, offering you a drink when you need a drink, when you are starved, you need it. But you're saying, no, I don't want it because I don't eat it. Okay, so here we go. No. I don't want to be healed in a form of counseling. I don't go to counseling. I don't do therapy. Surely there must be another way. But what if that's the way that will help you? What if going to sit down and speaking with a professional, what if that's the way that your healing will come? All right, let's move on to the next thing. Maybe it's loss. Loss of a loved one by way of death. Maybe you've been prayed over. Maybe you've prayed. Maybe you went to counseling, grief counseling, and it's still not doing it for you. You're still struggling with the grief. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Now, certainly, we will never forget those who have passed on. Trust me, I know. You won't forget the memories. It will always be there. But there's a such thing as good grief and bad grief. Good grief is when you are able to feel and you continue to heal. Bad grief is when, oh gosh, you're still dealing with the anger concerning the grief. You're still dealing with the regret concerning the grief. You're mad at the world. You don't want to allow anyone else in because you're pissed about the death of that person. I mean, grief can take people down some dark and lonely roads. Trust me, I know, as I'm walking through grief right now, every day it's a challenge. Every day it's a struggle. I have to constantly coach myself through it. Hey, Antoinette, continue to live. Antoinette, continue to put out. Antoinette, continue to impact. Because if you lie in the belly of grief, if I allow myself to just sit back and just give up, and oh my God, what if I would have done this? What if I would have had this chance? What if I would have said this certain thing? And oh man, we can come up with so many. We can speculate so much when it comes to losing someone or losing an opportunity. We can come up with the what ifs and the hows and all that. But after it's over and done with, it's only speculation. You'll never know because it's over. So in terms of healing, going back to it, I was simply trying to let you guys know, at this point on your journey of healing, prayer alone may not work for you. And it's not to say anything is wrong with prayer. Nothing at all. Prayer is communion between you and your Creator, you and God. You speaking to God, God speaking to you. Who's to say that God will not speak to you and tell you, hey, go and sit down with a mentor and talk about it. Hey, go and make amends. Hey, go back and rebuild that bridge. Your healing will come once you reconnect and start the communication again. Your healing may come by you volunteering at a charity. Healing could come by you joining a support group. Healing may come by you joining a fun group where you go out and you do scavenger hunts throughout the city. There are many ways for healing to come into our hearts and into our minds. But if we shut the door and say, well, people like me don't do things like that, that sounds insane. I'll never be healed that way. Like I'm adapted. I'm accustomed to going in the prayer line. I'm accustomed to having someone pray over me. That may not always work. Take it from someone who has been raised in that type of environment. I know how to get in touch with God. I know how to pray. I know how to intercede for myself and for people. And sometimes God works through people. Sometimes you need to sit down and have a conversation with someone. Sometimes you need to sit down and vent in a safe place to an individual that's not going to put your information out. It stays within that room and it leaves out maybe through a prayer. But unless you say something about the conversation that you've had with someone that you vented to, it doesn't leave. So there are various forms of healing, and I'm just asking you to open up. If someone is offering you advice, if someone is offering you a helping hand to assist you into the lane of healing, why not take it? If you've never tried it, how can you say or even assume that it will not work? Be healed. It's time.